Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles. Think different. Think Squawking Eagles Podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to the Squawking Eagles Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Miguel and Mark. How's it going, guys?
What it do, Scooby-Doo?
We're alive.
We're alive. Well, technically, we are alive, but next week we will be extremely live because this podcast is a week away from the NFL draft.
Oh, shit.
And yes, and we are going to be live via, of course, the computers. We'll record live, so we'll put out a link. You can come in and talk with us in the comments during their YouTube. It's going to be a YouTube live feed.
Okay, I didn't know if you do YouTube or Instagram.
It's going to be YouTube live, so you can come in, you can comment and share, and we can talk about the NFL draft next week. This week, we will be talking strictly about what the Eagles plan to do. Last week, we talked with Dave, and Dave gave us some great knowledge on what the Bears are going to be doing. And now we're going to take that knowledge and dial it into the Eagles. We're going to dive into what the Eagles are going to do this year, because there's a lot of things that the Eagles do need to take care of. Defensive backs, linebackers still, and also drafting for the future. So we'll talk about that. We also talk. Well, there's a few topics that need to be addressed with a certain Isaiah Rodgers, and on a good note, what Jalen Hurts did for the public schools of Philadelphia. So, if you want to follow us, Instagram, Squawking Eagles Podcast, over on YouTube, Squawking Eagles Podcast. And if you want to join in with the show and leave a voicemail, our phone number is 267-293-6963. All right, gentlemen, we're going to dive into this. The Eagles have the 22nd pick. And what are we going to do? We can't now. News came out today that Isaiah Rodgers, who we are expecting to be opposite of Darius Slay, is now still not activated into the NFL. He's still not on the list. So there's a chance that he's going to miss another year. What are your thoughts?
Luckily for us, there's a few top picks in the secondary this year. I'm actually looking at a few of them right now. It's weirdly enough, I've been seeing a lot of people that have like Mitchell from Toledo going like top 10. But now I'm seeing a lot more. Suddenly he's like falling to like 18-ish, which isn't too far out of the realm from 22. Further on top of that, of course, the guy I've talked about in almost every single podcast, I still believe, is that Nate Wiggins will be available. If we're going to go secondary, either one of those is great. I'm still not sold on Kool-Aid. I know there's a lot of people still want Kool-Aid. Name's fun and all, but I feel like I know Wiggins is considered a little undersized, but I think that he's got the speed and the knowledge to make up for it. And of course, I feel like Mitchell, he's got your size, he's got your speed, he's got playmaking ability. He's got a lot of that. He kind of reminds me of like Sidney Brown. He's got that confidence. He wants to just pop in and like make it happen. But I do on the side, I still believe we are going to get Isaiah Rodgers. There's a part of me that does not, I don't want to say.
Well, let me just the reason why he's not on the list as a possibility is that in September of 23, the NFL passed a policy that if you are betting and you bet on your team, you are not only suspended for 1 year, but you're also suspended for 2 years. Now, he did get suspended before this policy was involved with, active. It is active, wasn't an active policy, but now they might just say, you know what, he bet on his team, and we have this policy. It's going to be 2 years. So that's where I'm thinking is that it's going to be a 2-year thing and not this year.
I just don't get it. Like, I understand. Like, I get you don't want people gambling on the games when they're players because they do affect the outcomes. However, for one thing, if you're gambling your team to win, you're trying to win anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, how I just it just befuddles me to have a company that is so pro sports betting and at the same time so anti sports betting.
Yeah.
And I get it; it's different players. I get our different viewpoints. Is like the people in it shouldn't be betting on it, and we're putting on the show like. The NFL as a whole, we're an organization putting on this show. We want you guys to bet on it because it makes money for everybody except you guys because we like rip you all off. However, the players that are in it shouldn't be, and I understand that. But for them to like change the rule and then change the punishment because of a rule change later is a bit odd. Because
it's very odd. It's very odd.
You're going against a weird precedent where like suddenly, you could apply that to a lot of other things that could make crazy outcome changes. Like, hey, maybe a game was decided on this. Well, that is now an illegal tackle. Now it's a hip drop tackle that changed that game. Well, that was a penalty. So maybe, they didn't win that game. So it is weird. I don't like the idea of going back and like adding penalties like that. I think he was, he was penalized for what he did, which look, don't be dumb. Like I don't understand how hard it is. Maybe I'm the idiot. I don't know. But like, if you're in that world, if you get the opportunity of the few 1,000 people in history to play football for a living, don't be stupid. Don't drive cars fast into ditches. I saw another article about that. Another kid, like young kid, did that again. Like first off,
look at Rashid Rice.
That was Rashid Rice. Yeah,
from the Chiefs. He rented a Lamborghini, crashed it in the middle of the highway, and then ran away. Like ran away from it. Like
why?
Like, what are you doing? Like what?
That's what I mean. Like,
what are you doing?
You know what's really cool? I know here in Pennsylvania, it's at the Pocono Raceway, but I know it's also across almost every race course in the world, like in the U.S. at least. You can go to them and you can pay a little bit of money. And you can drive supercars, NASCAR cars around the track. I know it's not as fun and enthralling as racing down the highway. However, be smart. Like, don't be stupid. Everyone just try. When you're on the road, I used to be young and dumb too. You want to you think you want to have fun, but you look back at it now and go, the road is there for us to get from A to B. A lot of people getting home from work. They want to go see their families, or they want to get up. They want to go to work. They got things they got to do. You're endangering more than just your own self. You're endangering other people's lives. Yeah. Don't be stupid. You're a millionaire now. Go do it the right way. Hell, you're rich enough. You could fly to other countries where they have whole areas. You can go to Germany and race around the Nürburgring. That's actually cheaper than going to the Poconos doing one of those things. Just go have fun with it.
The thing with betting is that you can bet, fine, bet
on any other sport.
Like, what have you learned? Like, Major League Baseball suspended their number one hit king, Pete Rose, from baseball. He's gone. He's not even in the Hall of Fame. He wasn't. This is when he was managing, not when he was even playing. Learn from that. But you're still going to bet on your own team that you're playing for?
Don't even bet on your own sport.
Don't even bet. No.
There's so many things to bet on.
No, and look what happened to Ohtani. Like his interpreter has pretty much taken the fall, I would say, for whatever has happened. I can't believe that someone would take $16 million from someone and not notice. Like, how can Ohtani not notice $16 million missing from his account? Like,
Ohtani was a part.
Would you notice that $16 million left your account?
I'd notice that 16 cents was missing from my bank account.
True.
Exactly.
I will say though, granted, I'm not saying that he didn't notice it and he's bullshitting, but he did sign a $700 million contract. So one hand,
which he's not going to get toward. He's not going to get all that money until he's done playing.
True.
He deferred all of it. He's going to getting like $13 million for the next 6 or 7 years. Everything else is deferred.
True. Which, hey, that's how it works.
Yeah,
we see it all the time here. But even still.
So we're talking. Okay, so we're talking right now defensive back because of this Isaiah Rodgers thing. Miguel, you always keep talking about how he's going to trade up or how he trade back. Now that you know this information, Isaiah Rodgers is possibly not going to be on this roster. What do we do? Is he trading up or is he trading back?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I have NFL Live on ESPN2 on the background here, and they just had top need as cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think at 22, and I did hear earlier in the week that Howie Roseman was making calls to move up in the draft. So I think if there is a cornerback or a lineman, preferably the kid from Alabama, can't think of his name right now, the lineman from Alabama, I think he'll jump up and get him. But if not, we haven't seen this from Howie.
Wait.
Howie's been playing his first round.
You mean like J.C. Latham, the tackle?
Yeah,
Oh.
You got to find a replacement for Lane.
I agree. I'd be kind of shocked to see him that late.
Right. Hey, I'd be shocked to see him too, but there's going to be a lot of desperation moves, I believe.
That's true. I keep seeing more and more about having Marvin Harrison go 5th or 6th, and I'm just like, every time I hear him falling, like the fact that he is not going 2 is still blowing my mind. I understand, like, yes, obviously he's not the most important need for some teams, but like, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the quarterbacks, and we talked about it last week. I don't believe in Caleb Williams. I don't believe in Jaden Daniels. I don't believe in Drake May. Like, I don't like this quarterback class doesn't feel strong at all.
No, they're average.
Marvin Harrison feels amazing. Malik Neighbors feels pretty good. Roma Dunze feels amazing. I understand that receivers are not typically your top pick, but
I saw Steve Smith had Neighbors ahead of Marvin Harrison in his.
I've seen that a lot. Which I don't quite, which is crazy. So the reason I keep hearing this is that they think that Neighbors has higher potential. However, and I think Stroud says something about this, where it's like everyone has agreed Marvin Harrison is NFL ready right now. Mm-hmm. And the argument is that, like, yeah, but Neighbors could be better than him in the future. And it's like, correct me if I'm wrong. I would think that a player who is ready to go now is going to give you top level talent for a decade might be the better choice than someone who might give you top level talent in 4 or 5 years.
Right.
What? Okay.
Well, I saw an interview with Malik Neighbors, and they asked him how he felt. How would he feel if he got drafted by the Giants? And he goes, well, if they want to have somebody of my talent, I know they're gonna address the quarterback position first. If they want to have somebody throwing somebody talented like me.
No way.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm looking at Peter Schrager's mock draft right now, and he has Neighbors going 9th to the Colts, which would be a trade with the Bears. That would actually be pretty crazy to put Malik Neighbors on one side with Michael Pittman on the other, and Anthony Richardson coming back if he's healthy, and they can work on. I mean, they have to work on the O-line a little bit, but that could actually be a dangerous combo.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a simulation.
All right, here we are. Oh, right, so, what in the world kind of offer was that?
That was a big offer there. Okay, so let me just go back here and see who has been drafted.
Oh boy, there's so many other options all of a sudden.
All right, so wow, wow.
Is that what
and Jaden Daniels goes to the Bears.
And
Drake May goes to Washington. Caleb Williams to New England.
Oh wow!
Malik Neighbors still goes Arizona. Marvin Harrison to the Chargers. Arnold to the Giants.
Look, I'm just gonna call it right here. If they draft a corner over any of their other needs, they are the worst team in our division next year.
The Giants, I think they're going to be anyway. I don't know. It depends on.
Washington's going to have a rookie quarterback, and it could be. What's his Mitch? God damn it!
Drake May is going to be Mitch Trubisky 2.0.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah. Which.
I think the Giants are going to draft a receiver and try to see if they can save Daniel Jones' career here.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I wouldn't blame them as much as drafting the corner.
Right.
Although their defense is a little bit work, but their offense was nothing. They had no one to score with, and now you lost Saquon.
Yeah,
you need someone on offense.
All right, so on this draft, we're going to go with Daniels goes first, Drake May, Caleb Williams goes to New England, Malik Neighbors to Arizona, Marvin Harrison to Chargers, Arnold cornerback to the Giants, Thomas Jr. to the Titans. I think it's Quentin Mitchell to the Falcons. Odunze to the Bears. Fuaga from the Jets. Nate Wiggins ends up going to Minnesota. Denver takes
Dallas
Turner. Vegas takes Joe Alt. New Orleans takes JJ McCarthy.
Wow.
Indianapolis takes Cooper DeJean. Murphy goes to the Seahawks. Newton to the Jaguars. Latham, another offensive tackle for the Bengals because they need offensive line. Verse to the Rams. Brock Bowers goes to Pittsburgh
at 20. That's
at 20, and then Morgan, offensive tackle, to the Dolphins, and now the Eagles are.
Oh, see, if this were to happen, now I'm torn.
Okay, so now, what do we want to look at? We want to look at needs.
The needs are right there.
Well, these are most suggested. This is the most suggested.
I know, because that's all you need. Those top 4 are your best options, hands down. There's no one else available in the draft that I'm like taking over any of those 4 players. I'm just not. Not at this point. Not at this point.
We got Chop Robinson here still.
Yeah, he's gonna go.
What was that offer?
The trade offer. Let's see. The trade offer is.
God damn.
That's from Arizona. I think the other one we had was Minnesota. I know that's what they
it's just a trade tool.
So this is what Minnesota is offering. They're offering the 23rd pick, the 5th round, two 7th rounds, and a 7th round the next year.
I would not do that. Reject that.
Do you trade back one?
No,
reject.
Well, you're trading back one, and you're picking up 4 other picks. What are the other options? Does it show you if you go side to side? So you have three offers.
We can go back 2 more with
4 more total.
This is trading completely out of the first round.
Yeah, I'm not doing that one. Definitely, I'm not doing the Texans. Honestly, I might take the Vikings.
That's a lot of picks just to go back one.
Well, especially because there's too many players I want, right? Like I would take a Troy Fautino, I would take a Marius Mims, and I would take what's his face from Penn State. I would also take Latu out of UCLA.
I was gonna say that Latu pick right there. That's something I'd be interested in.
Well, I say, do you want to you roll the dice, you accept this trade, and hopefully they don't take.
They're gonna take Latu.
Yeah, but I think there's too many other options. There's too many players here.
All right, so let's accept this. I think we should accept this.
I think you'd have to take it. And they didn't. They took Robinson out of Penn State.
Chop Robinson.
They took Chop Robinson.
They took Chop Robinson out of Penn State. So now we still have the top picks that we wanted. Do we take Penn State offensive line, Latu, Fautinu, or Amirius Mims?
At this point, Mims is now like a secondary thought. I think it's between Latu and Fautinu, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against Fosh. I mean, he could also be great. There's something about it. I feel like Washington has routinely put out phenomenal linemen, and I think Troy's just another one in that list. But Latu,
you think so? Like the last didn't Andre Dillard come from Washington?
No, I think he might have. You're right. Yeah, and he actually did not pan out.
He did not pan out.
No, that was a rare. Yeah, you're right. That was He was crazy because he was really good in college. Like I remember thinking God damn, he's gonna be a monster, and he just didn't.
So it could either it's between the two you guys, but I would lean forward to the guy from Penn State, or we bring another Bulldog into the mix here.
I mean, I'm definitely not against a Bulldog the way they've been.
What do you say, Miguel?
I mean, I know that we're gonna need lineman help or depth, I should say.
100%.
But just having Latu there, man, just gives me another pass rusher. Since we lost Reddick and we don't know what Josh Huff is, if anything, we could plug him in and he can go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm torn.
I know you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Oh, this is a tough one.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. How how he's got this is how he's picked. How he's got to decide. Does he build for the future because Lane Johnson is getting long in the tooth, or does he bolster his defensive line that's already you lost Fletcher Cox, you lost Hassan Reddick.
Not to be the asshole, do we have any trade offers?
Let's see.
I was actually wondering the same thing.
Let's see. We can trade back in the first round to Buffalo. We get more collateral. We get another second round pick.
But trading back to 28 is a bit much.
That's the only offer is that.
Damn.
Much. Where we at? 23 right now?
Yeah. As much as I like those options, scroll down a little bit if you don't mind.
Yeah.
All right. So we're at 23 to 5. So anything Kool-Aid and beyond is more likely to be there.
Here's Xavier Worthy. A lot of people are saying
if we draft Xavier Worthy, I'm going to go back on my old school train of hating Howie Roseman permanently for being the dumbest person in the draft.
I know, but a lot of mock drafts.
I don't care. They're stupid. Stop. He's Jalen Reagor 2.0. Stop it.
I'm just saying that's where it's happening.
Look. All right, hold on. Just here. Switch over to receivers. Like, right? You can. Just do receivers. Okay. Adonai Mitchell is a better receiver. Ladd McConkey is a better receiver. Troy Franklin is a better receiver. Keon Coleman's a better receiver. Ricky Pearsall could be a better receiver. Like, I'm not going to a guy just because he's fast. We did that once. It failed miserably. Don't do it again.
I'm not in agreement to it. I'm just.
I'm putting out there in the world. Like, guys, the Eagles have done this. We're morons. We went with a guy who had great hands and nothing else, and he failed miserably because his hands sucked in the NFL. And with a guy with great speed and nothing else, and he sucked in the NFL. Don't do it.
All right, so let's talk about trading back. Dallas is is at 24. They probably take.
We're not trading. We're going right now.
Okay,
one of the top 3 players. No one else matters. It's got to be
State dude.
It's got to be new. It's one of the guys ending with a U.
A U.
One of the 3 ending with a U. We got to take him.
I'll take the first guy. This guy from Penn State, only because he's from Penn State, and I don't want to take Troy because of Andre Dillard. And I know we need offense. I know we need offense.
I will say, I think out of those 3, as much as I agree with Miguel, I love Latu.
Yeah.
I feel like it's too crowded of a room right now. I just don't think we could, especially because if Nolan Smith comes into his own and Latu were to come in and play on his own, like who do you sit? Like, as much as I love rotation, like I feel like it's going to end up biting us in the ass because I feel like that means he's going to go to Dallas, and Dallas is going to have him and Parsons.
Well,
not that he should even get to 22. I'll just put it out there. Neither of these 3 players we're looking at should not be available in real life come our pick. I don't expect these 3 here, any of them. But yes, go ahead and take them.
All right, we're going to take Fasanu from Penn State.
Hell yeah.
Tackle. It's an A+ pick. They gave us an A+ pick.
Of course, he's phenomenal. Can you pause it and then I just want to scroll back a little bit. I just want to see who went after us.
All right, so Dallas was after us, and they took Barton inside interior lineman.
Green Bay
took Howard.
Tampa
went to Tampa. Lassiter to Arizona. Mitchell to Buffalo. Fatsnu from Washington went to Detroit.
That's terrible.
Rackstraw Jr. from Missouri went to Baltimore, and then Mims went to San Francisco. That's a good pick for San Francisco. It's a really
a really good pick. And then the final out that draft or the first round would be Fiske going to
Chiefs. All right, let's keep going here. All right, so the Eagles have the 50th pick in the second round.
We
have an offer from the Jacksonville Jaguars. They want to trade back to the 4th round. I don't think we need to do that.
Can you just scroll forward a little bit on what happened? What the picks just happened? Right there. All right.
Phoenix went to Indy. What the hell?
That's not happening. Did you see what's right after Phoenix? Like those 3 in a row hurt me.
Knicks.
Franklin to New Orleans. There's no one there for you, bud. Actually, it wouldn't be too bad.
They want to point out Xavier Worthy went to the Falcons.
Yeah. Well, didn't New Orleans draft a quarterback in the first round?
Did they? Yeah, they did. They drafted.
McCarthy, right?
They drafted JJ McCarthy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next
So now they've got their wide receiver duo.
Yeah, and I will say,
And then your guy
bias
Bo Nix.
aside,
Your Bo Nix.
bias aside, Franklin could be a nasty receiver. He's got that like that. He's got like the rack ability you want. Like he knows how to maneuver himself out of the tackle and go. He could be painful. Michael Penix going to Indy. I don't believe it just because Anthony Richardson's a sophomore. It's not happening. Bo Nix to the Giants.
I can see that happening.
Like, no, don't do that to me, though. I mean, I just started to like the kid.
All right, so the Eagles are on the clock.
All right.
Now, the top guy on the draft board here is Edgerrin Cooper, who has been tied to the Eagles.
Yes, he has. Scroll down a little bit.
He's a linebacker. And we got Javon Bullard is still here. He's available. He's a safety from Georgia.
I don't think we're going to reach any further than this. I think we're already at our limit. Jonathan Brooks, running back.
Keep going now, Mike. Keep going now. Junior Colson from Michigan is on there too.
There he is.
Yeah. Let's see.
So, you guys, what do you say?
We just chose. What do we choose?
An offensive lineman right here.
Okay. Yeah.
Fassanu from Penn State, offensive tackle.
I mean, we didn't need linebacker help, bro.
Edgerrin Cooper.
I don't know if we're going to be going linebacker. We loaded up so many.
Mm-hmm.
Competition, brother.
Yeah, but I don't. But it's Howie. It's Howie. Howie doesn't do linebackers.
Not this high. You're right.
Well,
who else is on there that's worth it?
Does he take Bullard?
That's a reach. I feel like it's a reach.
It's a reach. It's a reach.
I feel like he's gonna. Honestly, I mean, Newbin's not a bad idea. I think maybe he trades out.
Let's see what kind of offers we have here.
We looked at it. It was not a great offer.
Not a great offer. Second.
I mean, round 2 next year, 4 and 7.
Drops to 4 and 7 in the second.
Remember, we do have 2 picks here too.
Yep. And we do, and this offer is another second round pick for next year.
Yeah. Trying to think. Scroll. Not down to the side. Who's after Miami? Does it show you?
Yep, Dallas.
Keep going a little bit more. Ooh. I feel like Houston might be interested in moving up, personally. They might want, they want some more rookie. They want to try to put some more youth into this team of theirs.
Okay. Joey, so you want to swap second round pick here with Houston?
Well, I want a little bit more than that, of course, but
all right. So you would want to trade this year's pick.
Yep, for that.
Yep.
And let's say their second, fourth. They have 2 of them. Their sixth.
Their first or second?
The first 6. And then 2025. Oh. Do they have anything for 2026 or no?
No.
Ooh. Okay. 2025 round 3 at least.
Yeah, really? They say it's not enough and too much.
Throw in our first 7th.
No.
I didn't think that would do much. Really? They think that's too much. I guess it is a bit much. All right. Get rid of the next year.
It won't let me unselect.
Really?
Unselect. Yeah, it won't let me unselect it.
That's weird. Change teams real quick. See if that helps.
Okay, so this year.
Yeah.
They do this year's second and do that 3rd round pick for next year.
No.
But for this year,
get rid of
I got you. They won't.
No, for Houston. I want their 3rd round pick for next year.
For next year?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And then we give them our second
And then try their no, we don't have to give them anything right now. Right now it still says good. Try to grab their do they have a 5th round this year? Or 4th? Go with their 2nd, 4th. See if they'll
Too much.
click that.
They don't like that.
Wait, it lets you add and remove ours, but doesn't let you remove that one?
No.
Oh man, that's dumb. All right.
I can just do this. That helped. Second,
Okay.
and then the 3rd next year.
For our first, and then I'd say, what would you rather have, Miguel? This year's 6th, next year's 5th.
Next year's 5th.
All right, go with that. Really? Can you? And throw in our next year's 5th, like a 1-for-1 there. Yeah.
There you go.
We'll do better than them next year. I'm still kind of iffy on it though. I feel like I'm giving up a lot. Screw it.
You're trading back 9 spaces, nine picks. You're giving up
For next year's 3rd, technically, is all you're really getting out of this.
That's it. Is there going to be a lot there next year at 3rd?
Well, hey, stock is stock, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think that we'd get better out of it, but I'd take this just for the sake of moving this forward.
All right, take it.
Because we draft again right here.
Mm-hmm. And then they selected. Let's see who they selected. Houston selected
Tampa.
Tampa from
Houston selected
Iowa.
Tampa from Iowa.
Yeah,
that's a good time.
Haynes and Jurgens. So the top guys that were on this list when we went. We have still Adrian Cooper.
What was that offer we had at the start? All right, so 7th and next year's 2nd, a 4th, and a 6th.
And then we also have the Ravens, a 2nd round next year and a 4th round this year.
Yeah,
and a 2nd round, a 4th round,
and a 5th all next year.
Yeah,
I don't feel that. Not a big fan of those offers personally.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Scroll down a little bit here. I'd feel more comfortable taking Bullard here, but again, we do have another pick soon because we just traded back, right? 9?
Yeah, we have another pick at 59.
So
he'll probably be there at 59.
So then, what else is a need?
A need is, let's see.
I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna sound stupid. I was joking earlier. I think maybe you take Brooks.
Brooks?
Yeah.
Right here, Jonathan Brooks from Texas.
For Texas? I don't like taking running backs this early, but I feel like that's our next need. I still don't like. We won't. We don't need to bother because we have Saquon. They're not going to ever go with running backs. I like to look at the future, and I just.
Yeah. Well, let's see if he's there at 59. Just take the linebacker from Texas since we dropped back and got more.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take Cooper. That's not a bad pick.
It's a good. Yeah. I think it's a good pick. He's been linked to the Eagles. He has visited the Eagles already. I think.
Yeah,
that's a good pick. All right, we'll take Adrian Cooper at 53, round 2. A+ pick. It's an A pick. So we got 2 offers. We're now at 59. Atlanta has offered a 4th round, a 6th round, and a 2nd round next year.
I hate to say that's not bad.
That's not a bad.
Atlanta sucks. Go ahead. Oh, they should do better this year.
And then we got a round from Minnesota. It gives us a round. They want to see. I think Minnesota is going to be worse than Atlanta, and that could be a high. That could be a higher pick. Round 2.
Yeah, JJ on that team still, my guy.
I don't know if he's going to be on that team much longer. I really don't.
We'll see. Either way, what we got here? All right.
Whoops. All right, so we got a safety, Nubin. Bullard is
still there. Bullard's there. Brooks is still there.
Yeah.
So it says our needs are tackle and linebacker, or that just shows you what we have.
That's what we drafted.
That's what we've drafted.
What does it say as our need? It doesn't say we have any needs, right?
No, they're in order. I think. Cornerback.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm stupid. Just ignore my stupidity.
No worries.
All right.
Yeah, corner is our need.
Can you filter us just corner and safety? Just the two of those? Or is it only let you do one?
Just do one.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, but I can just do that. So our corners, we have Chris Abrams Drain.
Yeah.
You got your guy from Oregon.
Dude, Oregon actually has a lot of guys coming to the draft this year. It's kind of impressive.
Cam Hart, and then safety.
Probably as far as I'd go.
Newbin and Bullard are our top.
Yeah. Oh, that's a tough one.
Well, let's think about what our needs are. Their needs are corner. We have not addressed that yet. We've adjusted our tackle for Lane Johnson. We added a linebacker for good measure. I think you have to address a corner.
I was just taking it as secondary in general, beyond. I feel like
okay, sure, secondary in general.
I'm just saying either one works because I feel like at this point, whether or not Rodgers plays, we have some young guys there at corner.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we got Gardner Johnson back,
mm-hmm.
we got Sidney Jones on the mend, and we got
Sidney Jones Sidney Jones is ahead of schedule on.
I know, I'm super hyped about that.
So.
Like we have three guys at safety that I feel pretty comfortable with. We got corners I feel comfortable with. So I'm in my opinion, and this is just me. If you guys feel differently, so be it. I don't mind. I'm just saying that like anyone in secondary could benefit us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would matter if it's a corner or a safety.
Okay,
but I'll defer to Miguel's choice.
All right, Miguel, you're on the clock. You're on the clock now, Miguel.
Oh boy, I'm on the clock. All right, give me cornerback. Give me the cornerbacks.
Here they are.
Yep. And shit, man. No names really jump off the chart to me right here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cam Hart. I've seen him play once this year, I believe. So I don't know much about him. I don't know much about anybody left on this board here, but. I think if I had to choose gun to head, I'm going Cam Hart.
Cam Hart?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark, good?
Yeah, I'm deferring to him.
All right, Cam Hart it is. It's not a bad pick. It's a B pick.
Thank you.
And that'll do it because the Eagles do not have a third-round pick this year. Or at least they don't have a third-round pick. I think we traded it.
We traded it away.
And that'll do it. We just did 3 rounds here.
Not bad.
Not bad. We got an offensive tackle that addresses the Lane Johnson situation. Mm-hmm. We added a linebacker to the room that is a bit crowded right now. But I think since the Eagles have struggled with linebackers, I think adding a young linebacker to that core is not a bad idea. And Cam Hart from Notre Dame, corner, who also addresses our need with our secondary. I like all 3 of these picks.
I do too. And keep in mind that not only do we have these 3 picks, we also picked up 4 extra draft picks.
Correct.
So
yeah, we picked up a 5th round this year, a 7th round this year. 3 7th rounds. Oh no, 2 7th rounds and a 7th round in 2005.
To go back 1 spot, I'm okay with it. I'll take
that.
Back.
Yeah, that's a big haul to go back 1 spot. I like that. We got.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
No, and then we traded with Houston, and we traded back 9 picks and picked up some spots for there. So I think this is a good. I think this was a good draft. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it.
Good.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's pretty good. I like it.
I don't hate it.
I will say, I don't know if you saw, but sorry, there was like an interview question about Trotter. And how he said he's a little biased towards homegrown players. Mm-hmm. He would like to see them on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't mention names, but you got an idea. I mean, the guy who asked, I think, asked him directly, and he just didn't mention the names back. But
yeah,
I could see him going.
Yeah, I did. I have seen him. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. did visit Dallas, I think, a week or 2 ago. I don't like the sound of Trotter in a Dallas uniform, even though his father did play for Washington.
Not gonna lie. I could see them doing something like that just to be annoying.
It would be very annoying.
Like
now Michael Parsons, there's rumors out there that Dallas, I guess people in the Dallas organization have had it with his antics, Michael Parsons' antics.
Micah.
And there is a possibility that he is not a Cowboy next year. I would say he's not going to be a Cowboy next year. That dude could be a Philadelphia Eagle. Who knows?
No, he can't.
There's still time.
Can't. Bro. What is his contract?
I don't know what his contract is.
I'm pretty positive he couldn't be on the Eagles even if we offered him the moon.
I need to know where you heard this information because I haven't seen it anywhere.
I will send it to you. I saw it on Instagram in more than multiple areas. So his antics are wearing thin is what the quote was. He's
not going off wearing workouts.
No, also neither did CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb decided not to go to the voluntary workouts either, and because of that, because he wants a contract. Let's address the fact that Devontae Smith has become extended 3 more years. Now, how do you feel about that? Right,
Smitty.
Mark should be happy about that.
But we got Batman's on the team. Of course, I'm happy about that.
Here's something that's not going to make you happy.
Uh-oh.
The Eagles are going to be playing in Brazil. Opener game. I know you're not going to watch. Mark.
In general. No, Philly fans, if you're real, you don't watch this game.
Mark, we all know Mark's not going to watch. Even if I send him my
NFL fans don't watch this game. In general, don't. Let's make it the worst.
I will be watching the game.
So there's a rule.
Go to Brazil and watch it then. You go on vacations, go to Brazil.
You play for my ticket, I'm out there. I'm
right.
Gone.
The Corinthians who the stadium that they're going to be playing in has a rule in that stadium. You cannot wear green because their arch rival Palmeiras wears green. And so they have outlawed any player who plays on that field
and fans
green. And fans
you can't be in the stadium in green.
Right. Now, the NFL you can't tell me the NFL didn't know that, and they scheduled 2 teams that are predominantly green to play in a stadium where they don't want green uniforms or anything green in the stadium. That is, I think, a major faux pas by the NFL. Now the Eagles. Faux pas, right? It's a faux pas. It's a faux pas.
Not a fupa, that's for damn sure.
It's not a fupa, but it's a faux pas.
It's a faux pas. I gotta stop drinking during these things because it's hindering. I needed it after the day I've had. Anyway,
when's our opening game again?
September 6th. Now the Eagles, there's two ways that this can happen. The Eagles can just wear their all black uniforms and it'll be fine. And the Packers can wear all white, which they have done in the past, and it would be fine.
They still green in their uniforms, though.
There is still green in their uniforms, but they could address it by just taking the green out. If I'm the NFL, I make it those 2 teams do not wear green at all because it's an international respect and respect for the country and respect to the teams there. You don't wear green. What are your thoughts, Miguel? I want to hear your thoughts first because I know Mark is going to be super grumpy.
Yeah, I mean they had to know that they've had to do their homework, right? They're not just booking 2 teams in there that go against the rules of colors. That's the first time I've ever heard a color being banned. And you thought the Eagles Stadium hated rival NFL jerseys in there. I can imagine what it's like in Brazil with rival soccer teams.
I say when the whole stadium bans it, not even just the fan base, the stadium. Like imagine
what happens if you're a traveling fan and all you have is a green Dawkins jersey. Like you're gonna be kicked out of the game. Like I don't understand. I don't think they're gonna take it that far. I mean, like you said, the quick fix is Eagles wear all black. The Green Bay Packers wear their white and yellow pants, and we continue on. I mean,
What do you do
that's the
with
best
fans?
fix. It's just the fans that I'm worried about.
Mhm.
By the way, $1,000 round trip.
That's how it's going to cost to go to San Paulo.
Sao Paulo, yeah.
Yeah.
That's round trip. That's there and back.
But that
That's
means
really
you'd have.
not bad.
That's one way for you to watch the game, right, Mark?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, if someone wants to buy me a ticket, yeah, I'll watch
Philly
it in
sports
person.
trip.
Easy.
Philly
Write it off
sports
as a
trip.
business account.
Exactly. It's a business trip.
All right, so Mark, since you're wearing your Kayvon Wallace jersey, which is
Thankfully.
also black, do
With
they
green.
wear black? Oh, see, look at that.
They're still green. They're
There's
still green though.
There's still green on that jersey.
So you're either going to have to make entirely alternate uniforms for both teams. I know right now, last I heard, is that they are petitioning the board of Sao Paulo or whatever it is to make an exception because it is a foreign sport coming to just do it, so to speak, a demo. And understandably, they're not trying to be disrespectful, but this is the color of the team. It's kind of like, and I understand this is the big difference between the fan base of our sports versus others. And I've always known that soccer is pretty wild. It gets crazy in some of these countries, but like imagine banning blue in the link, just straight up banning blue.
Yeah.
Just because we don't like the Cowboys. And it's like, all right, but what about when we play the Chargers or the Patriots? Or like, are there, like, I didn't look because I'm like, wait a second, I didn't look that into it, but I feel like there's got to be some green in some other jersey of some other team in that league.
Mhm.
And secondly,
Wait a
this
minute.
is Brazil.
Their
What
flag is
color
predominantly
Is their
green.
damn flag?
Well, wait a minute. Isn't the Brazilians national team yellow and green?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the problem?
It's the team, the Corinthians who play in this stadium in São Paulo. They have rejected the color green because of their arch rivals from Palmeiras.
I will say, I do think that this was kind of brought up as a stir-up story for exactly what we're doing now.
Yeah,
because exactly of like what Miguel just said, where I'm like, you can't just not like.
And here's a little side note. In 2016, when I think they had the FIFA matches there, they allowed teams with green in their uniforms to play there. So they have bent the rules. I just think the NFL should have picked two teams that wouldn't stir up anything. Just to put the Titans and Giants there, let them play. They're both green. They're both blue.
Yeah, well, now they wanted the stories.
Of course, this is a story that we're talking about. It was all over the internet for a while.
Again, I need to see the legitimacy of the website that you got this information from, because this just seems way out there, far-fetched.
Yeah. So
I will say, I mean, I could see it. There's definitely stadiums that are going to be like very anti, their rivals, especially in those sports. But yeah, I don't think it's really going to be an issue. I think it really is just kind of a throw up. Like, hey, this color green's banned here. It's like, yeah, kind of.
No, okay. So then, if they did that, then you have to tell me that on the ticket sales for this event, you have to put that on the ticket. You got to put it, because Eagles fans are going to show up wearing their green.
They're going to wear a lot of green.
Yeah.
Can you buy that ticket yet? Those aren't on sale, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I doubt it, but
I wonder how much those tickets are going to be, because that stadium is bigger, right?
It's a big stadium. I'm looking forward to the game.
I'm looking forward to hearing about the game.
Wow! Can you listen to it on the radio, Mark? You can probably listen to it on the radio.
Yeah, anything. I could watch it if it wasn't on. If it's not on, like, whatever, it's on Peacock or whatever. Like, if it's on a local channel, I'm gonna watch it.
It's going to be on NBC 10 and it's going to be on the Peacock.
Is it though? Because I heard that it was not. They're straight paywalling it.
No, it's going to be on NBC 10.
All right, if it's local, fans go ahead and watch it. It's going to be on local channels. If you watch it on Peacock, just know you're forever a Cowboys fan. And if you watch on Peacock, you're a Cowboys fan labeled for the whole season.
Well, guess what? I will be
little kid shit, bro.
No. Because
I will be watching
on
the Peacock.
Uppity, the money thing. Yeah, you guys can go suck Micah Parsons Peacock. Side note, the stadium they're playing at only holds 47,000 people. That's actually kind of small.
It is a small stadium.
Wait.
I will be watching on the Peacock, by the way.
Hold
I'm
on.
not gonna be watching.
I'll be watching on Peacock as well.
There we go.
There's got to be 2 different stadiums because the one says Arena Corinthians, which I figured that would be the one we're playing in.
That's the arena we're playing in.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So seating capacity of 47,000, and then if you go to the Marumbi Stadium in Sao Paulo for Sao Paulo FC, that holds 80,000.
Yeah, that's not the stadium they're playing
Look,
in.
maybe it's not a problem with the colors. Maybe we got the wrong stadium.
It sounds
like,
like it could be the wrong stadium.
Even if American football is not big in Brazil, I feel like that one event it's going to be big in Brazil. Like everyone's going to want to take it to that. It happens every time we go play in England or we go play in Germany. Like you think they half the people I know from those countries couldn't care less about our version of football, but they do the day we're there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge event.
Maybe the NFL knows that they'll definitely sell out 47,000 instead of 80,000.
Sell out 80. I'm positive it would sell out 80. I think most teams have 80,000 person stadium.
80,000 people to go watch a football game that nobody has ever seen in real life. I don't know.
Yeah,
80,000.
100%.
I think you're more guaranteed to sell out a 47,000 arena than a 80,000. Like guaranteed, no matter what you're gonna see. If it's fans traveling, they're gonna fill that stadium. Even if it's the locals, you're gonna fill that stadium.
Yeah,
80,000 might be.
They picked the right 2 teams because the 2 teams that they picked between the Packers and Eagles, their fans travel. They travel well, and I think that's why they picked a stadium that is 47,000 because at least the fans from Green Bay and Philadelphia will show up and be part of that stadium.
Side note.
Let's see another side note.
Sorry. Well, because we're talking about stadiums. It dawned on me. I was like, what is the biggest stadium? So I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
You may or may not know, Michigan is well known for having the Big House, the largest stadium in college football, in general.
100,000, right?
I'm sorry?
100,000?
110. But yeah. There's one stadium in the world that is bigger.
What's that?
Is that the one in China? The Bird's Nest one?
The Rungrado 1st of May Stadium in Pyongyang, North Korea.
Oh, it's probably
115,000. Yeah, what are you watching there?
Now, technically,
it says it can hold 150,000 people maximum.
But technically, since it's in North Korea, you got to take that with a grain of salt because they exaggerate a lot of their things.
Well, I mean, you could look at this from satellite. I would expect.
Well,
to confirm it.
I don't know. North Korea. I don't know.
Yeah, North Korea has nothing to stop you from looking at their satellite. Are you kidding? They're so stupid. They're dumb.
Google map North Korea and see what you see.
I will.
Yeah. All right. While you do that, I want to talk about what Jalen Hurts did today. So Philadelphia schools, there's a lot of schools that are closing early due to heat warnings in the schools. And it keeps kids from learning, keeps kids, they have to go home and maybe their home life isn't as great. And so it's being at school is kind of a relief for them. And so what Jalen Hurts did was he donated $200,000 to the Philadelphia public school system for 10 schools to purchase and install air conditioners into the schools. I think that's, again, a generous thing for him to do. It helps kids to stay in school a lot longer than they could if it was hot outside. A great thing for him to do. Awesome thing for him to do. What do you think, Miguel?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, as you all should know, public school systems across America are not doing that well. I know Beyonce just donated a ton load of money to public schools in a certain area. I'm not sure where. So seeing Jalen, also do the same thing speaks highly of his character and that he's willing to, throw some money into the city that he lives in and to make sure that these kids grow up to be successful in some way.
I love it. I love that he did it. I love it that he did it.
I do love that. I feel like we have had a pretty good stretch of players for Philadelphia that have been really good to the city. I think it's a good spot. Not to go on another tangent, but I'm just looking at this real quick. I pulled up. You guys can see this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that the stadium?
That's the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Any of you notice something missing for a sports stadium?
There's no parking.
There's no parking at all. Secondly, did I just read that right? What in the world is that? Never mind. North Korea is a weird spot, boys.
Weird spot.
But and that not only that, like if this is 115,000 under these, which like it could be. I mean, those got to be absolute garbage seats.
I don't know. That doesn't look like that could be 150,000 people seats.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Mark, they exaggerate a lot of stuff.
I'm not saying they don't. I will say though, if you're looking at like these, like these other fields, this looks like a full-size soccer field. I truly believe it is a full-size soccer field.
Yeah.
You put that, I mean, look how small it looks in there.
Yeah.
So there could be that many seats there. I'm just saying these aren't seats as we know them. These are just concrete benches.
Yeah, so those are definitely benches.
The whole stadium. The whole stadium. But,
yeah. So I guess you could
cram
a lot of people into those bleachers. I guess you could. So now, are you doing Michigan there?
Yeah. Go away.
Well, see, they're the same thing. They're used bleachers as well.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, looking at it on size wise, it is, it's pretty close in size. Would you expect 115 to 110? It's pretty close.
Yeah.
However, though, you will notice that there's all these weird things out here called lots.
Yeah.
Why are there so many lots around a stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Look at all these lots. Why are there so many lots? It's almost like you need to park your car somewhere. If you have a car.
It's there's a lot of buildings in North Korea that aren't even populated.
Yeah, well, maybe they should do something about that.
Yeah, that's another podcast.
That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole other podcast.
Just like I know it's not our thing. I know it's not my thing particularly, but I feel like it would be, with all due respect, to congratulate Caitlin Clark on her draft. Right?
Yeah, that was amazing to watch. Actually, I've watched a lot of NBA drafts. That was pretty good and WNBA draft. For her to get selected to the Indiana Fever, and her jersey got sold out within an hour of that happening.
She outsold all of the Dallas Cowboys, right?
Yeah, 100%.
That's amazing.
100%. Yeah.
And also, did I hear correctly? Because again, I'm sorry I don't watch this. Philadelphia may be getting a WNBA team.
Yeah, that's one of the options. Miami, I think, is another one.
Both
Seattle.
those cities will do well. Both those cities would do very well for a WNBA team.
Yeah,
I think Philly would actually
call them the 69ers. Yeah,
but dude, we got to build their stadium on 69th Street. Like, come on.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I think the WNBA, because of they've increased a lot of their attendance and pay schedules and all this stuff all before Caitlin Clark. Now they have Caitlin Clark, and now she is like going to double that already. The WNBA might be coming up.
I heard she's got a sneaker deal as well coming up.
A Nike sneaker deal?
Signature shoe.
Yeah. I've got a comment to make. I'm going to hold for after the podcast.
Tune in. Also, she was the first athlete, WNBA or NBA, to be sponsored by Prada during the NBA draft. That was a thing. Apparently.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Hey, all I'm saying, I said this to someone before. People were still bitching. I know people were bitching because, like, apparently her contract's already been released. People are bitching about the amount of money she's making.
$346,000 over 4 years.
And look, she's obviously going to make way more than that in deals. We all know that.
She is. Yeah.
And this is what I'm trying to hope. And hopefully she's, like, honestly, as much, even though I'm not a basketball person, I hope that she is the start of this momentum trend. Mm-hmm. If you want them to get paid, go watch them play.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You tune into those games, they're going to get more money. All those players get paid when you watch them. That's why you got players like LeBron James or Pat Mahomes making hundreds of millions, because you watch every game they play.
Tell you the truth, I'm going to watch her games. Granted, she's on the worst team because they had the first pick.
That's usually how it goes.
But I'm interested to see how it goes now. I'm interested. I mean,
it's basketball.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to do this to you guys but are we just more interested because she's a white woman that got drafted to Indiana? I mean, why all the interest now? Because I saw a lot of comparisons of this draft being compared to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson getting drafted. Like Indiana drafted Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson went to LA, and I think Caitlin Clark's rival got drafted to LA. The girl that she was fighting with,
she got drafted to Chicago.
Oh, okay. Well, it was similar something like that. But I understand that she's a good player. She's a great player. I know she trained under Kobe for a couple of years or whatever.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. I don't understand the hypeness of it. You know what I mean?
I was like, I didn't either. So I looked it up because I was confused. I had the same thought as you. Like, what's going on? I did learn that she's apparently the all-time 30+ point leader in all of basketball, men's and women's.
Yeah, that's
pretty fucking hype.
Yeah.
Like you broke. I mean, we talked about before why there's men's sports and women's sports, because for the most part, your competitions are going to be different. It just is. I won't get all that detail and all that, but there's a reason it's separated, and you see that when we do have the cross play. The fact that you could set a record that breaks all those barriers. I mean, yeah, she wasn't playing against the same competition, but to break it that much is pretty insane. And like I said, I don't care much about basketball. I know of her name just because I keep hearing about it in the news. And I get your point, Miguel. I 100% get your point. That's why I looked it up, because I felt the same. I was like, wait, what's going on? Because I know, there was and this is a shame to myself as a sport fan, but just shows you how much I don't keep my eye on basketball. There was a WNBA player that was arrested in Russia this past year.
Yeah, Brittany Griner.
I remember her being I remember hearing her name a lot, but I felt the same way. I was like, why? And we're hearing Caitlin Clark. I feel like I'm hearing about her more, and I had the same thought process you did. And then I looked it up, and it was apparently, statistically speaking, there's a reason people are talking about her. It's not just surface level.
Well, so. I watched the WNBA when it first came out with Lisa Leslie and Rebecca Lobo. Rebecca Lobo was on the New York team, New York Liberty, and Lisa Leslie was on the Los Angeles Sparks. I watched then because it was brand new and it was interesting. I stopped watching because it became less interesting. Then I watched again when Maya Moore came out from Connecticut, and she played for the Lynx. And then it got less interesting again. I'm telling you, I've been following the WNBA for a while.
I didn't know any of these names.
Right.
What was the other girl from Connecticut? Dana
Taurasi. She played. So I got interested. I watched when she started playing, and then Sue Bird. I watched when she played. It's a fad. I think this is how I see the NBA, the WNBA. There's a lot of hype, and then it falls off. And I think that's what they're doing. There's a lot of hype. They like to find that new hype person to get it hyped up, and it's just going to fall off. It happens to me. I watched for the first half a season. I'm like, all right, I'm done. It's not as entertaining as it is to watch other things. It really isn't. For me, even though I much like basketball, people who Mark doesn't like basketball. He's not going to watch the WNBA.
Did you hear how much the price jumped for the tickets for Fever?
I'll tell you what.
Insane.
I didn't hear about that. I will tell you what. If they make a WNBA team here in Philly, I will go to a game. Out of respect of A, Philly and its teams. B, because if they're I'm going to try this year to go to the women's hockey that's in Jersey. I want to start in some way or another, try to help support women's sports, just because, it should be out there. I'd like it to be. I understand why it's not equal financially. I think we could work towards it, though, as a better fan base. Plus, hey, I'd like my daughter to go see these women living their dreams and having it be successful.
Yeah, I'm the best WNBA team right now is the Las Vegas Aces. They've got Kelsey Plum, who is
I have heard that name.
She's the wife of Darren Waller. She went viral when she was throwing T-shirts into the stands at San Antonio Spurs games. She's an athlete. She's awesome. That's a great team. That they've went back-to-back champions. So Caitlin Clark is not going to dominate as much as everybody thinks is going to happen.
She's not going to LeBron James the league.
She's not going to LeBron James the league at all.
See how it goes.
Again, we'll see. It's a hype, and is it because she's white? You can go down that rabbit hole of why it is. It could very, very well be because
I like to believe that we live in society are better than that. Especially, like, I feel like we've been better than that for a while. I feel like it actually got worse the past, like, about 16, 20 years or so. I feel like after the 2000s game, and all of a sudden everything got real, like, weird and racy, which was in a weird spot. But I think we're in a better spot now, where I feel, especially in today's, like, woke culture, I'd like to believe that society is not skin deep on this, because I feel like there's been so much, like, growth, for at least that the fact that I'm hearing about the WNBA prior to Caitlin Clark thing, like, just in the past year or two, like, not even counting Brittany Griner getting arrested, just in general, just I feel like I've heard about it more and more. And I feel like right now, if she was only like a mediocre or so-so player that was like towards the top, so to speak, I guess, but like just kind of up there with others, I don't think you'd hear about her. I think there has to be something statistically outlandish that is making the comments, the reason it's in the news, because I just don't see it right now, especially because every news company is so woke. They're trying not to touch on anything that could be taken that way. I feel like there's too much here to ignore. I think it's better for the sport and for women's sports to talk about it than to shy away from it because of skin color.
Well, before the draft, Dave Portnoy offered Caitlin Clark $3 million to come and play in his rec league, his men's rec league. And I would have, like, you televise that, people will watch that. So if people would watch that, why not watch the WNBA, which is more an official, legitimate league?
Who else is in Portnoy's league?
What's that?
Who else is in Portnoy's league?
I don't know. I'm sure not, athletes that are they're not going to be in the NBA. So she's going to probably
might have been retired NBA players. You never know.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Interesting. All right.
Go ahead.
Again, this is an Eagles podcast. Moving on.
I just wanted to draw attention that WNBA deserves to be getting a little more attention. And congrats to Caitlin Clark going first overall. I know there were some questions about that.
Mark,
about basketball.
Mark, we could totally spin this off when the WNBA gets a team in Philly. You can flagship our podcast spinoff for the team for that league. Just let you know.
I don't know anything about it. I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna go because I'm trying to be a good fan of Philly. Like, I still need to go to a Union game, and I haven't, and I feel terrible about it.
I want to go to a Union game, that's for sure. But
that'd be nice.
Expensive ever since Messi joined the league.
Yeah.
One second, I want to grab some of those. You guys keep talking.
So maybe that's something we do too. We take this podcast on the road and we go to a Union game.
Yeah.
I think that'll do it for us. We've touched the base. I think we drafted 3 good players here for this year. I'm excited to see how he does next week. Again, we're going to be live, so there will be a recording, but it's going to be our live recording. If you want to come in and join us on YouTube, we will be live, and you can comment and watch along with us, and see how he does. Last year we did that. We had a couple people come on. I think Sean came on. My brother popped in.
Did I come on?
Mark was there. Miguel, were you?
I think Miguel was away.
You might have been on. You're on vacation. Yeah, that's what Miguel does. Miguel vacations.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I hope he's enjoying them damn vacations. I wish I could go on damn vacation.
And not only is that we're going to be live next week, but that next week is our 2nd year anniversary of recording the podcast. So 2 years we've been doing this, guys.
That'll be like 104.
204.
Yeah, 152 weeks a year. 104 podcasts, roughly.
I think so. We're over 100 podcasts because of our 2 a week, but we are definitely over 100, and so we now finally hit 2 years next week, and that's going to be
how funny how time flies. Jesus,
time flies.
You know what? You know what else flies?
The
Eagles. Let's go.
And Bayern Munich into the semifinals of the UEFA Champions League. Let's go.
There's that.
Hey, a lot of people had Arsenal and Man City going in, and both teams lost. So,
and before we get off to another tangent, you already know how we do. Eagles.
Let's go, Birds.
Go Birds. Hey, Mike, hit some draft music, bro.